Blackburn Rovers, unfortunately, the new manager bounce has come to a crashing halt. Of course, it was never really a new manager bounce. It was a caretaker manager bounce. But Rovers falling considerably short here against the Swansea City side. Also in a bit of a dilemma themselves. Without a manager, they've got a caretaker in there, Mr. Sheehan. And he got the boys, got the Swansea lads, the Welsh boys, responding to them, yes. And they got a massive 3-0 win over a Rovers side that really were never in this game. Probably, when you look back at the David Lowe era, and we could call it now because it's got to stop. It's got to stop here. 3 games, 2 wins, 1 defeat. Let's put it in the bin now. David Lowe is not the man to get us over the line here for the season. And I had a good little back at the end of the watch-along chat with Jacob. We'll get into that in a minute. But this is it. Put it to bed. David Lowe is not the fucking answer. Pardon my French. Outdone. He was outdone by a Sheehan. He played, of course, Lowe opted for a very defensive lineup. A lineup that really felt short from the get-go. We just didn't feel like we were in this game. What I mean by that is Hedges not been good, not been at the races for a good part of the season. I don't even know why he keeps getting starts. Forshaw, yes, he got the goal last time, and again he did start okay, but unfortunately the game just was too much for him and a few others as well. A lot of people were found out today. Sanderson didn't have a good game. Forshaw was just a little, again, Forshaw's position in the team is defensive midfielder, so you can't really put the blame on him too much. But Maktar Gay up top, Tyree Stolen, Hedges. Who else was up there? Wyman had a good game, had a good opportunity, couple of opportunities, but realistically, a lot of the players were passengers today. There was the only couple of players that stood out for me was Dom Hyam, was Ribeiro. A lot of other people were at fault for this, but big 48 hours right now on Saturday. What is it? We're noon my time, which is 5 o'clock your time UK. It's going to be a massive 48 hours. Of course, I don't expect an announcement tomorrow, but I'm hoping there's an announcement by Monday of our new manager, whoever that will be. David Wagner is my new flavour of the month. Give it to Wagner. He's got he can galvanise a team. Yes, there's that blip on his resume with the Huddersfield weekend team that saw us get relegated, but let's forget about that. This is a football business. Why risk it for his own team back in the day? With Huddersfield, there are their own agendas. They were not thinking about everybody else. So that's by the by. But he gets teams in the playoffs. Yes, it might be a risk, but I think for what it's worth, I think he can get us into the playoffs this season. And then I also think with a pre-season under his belt, I think he could galvanise the team next season to be a united Blackburn Rovers team. So that's my new flavour of the month. Give it to David Wagner, or if not Rob Edwards. But I just don't think Rob Edwards will go here at the moment. So we'll see what happens in the next 48 hours. And I'm sure much more clarity, or a bit more clarity, will happen in the next 24 hours. But today, Swansea, of course, responded. They got rid of Luke Williams at the start of the week. And they responded well. Big win in front of the packed out Swansea City Stadium, and 3 goals, 3 great goals. Well, the first goal was an absolute whopper, as in a stinker. I don't even know. It was just too many errors there. Hedges was involved with an error, but Pears realistically was at major fault. Should have dealt with it. But we've got to give him a little bit of slack because he's been so good this season. And the second goal, I don't even know. To be honest with you, the goal was blurs already. I'm trying to forget this fixture. I'm trying to Men in Black this bad boy because it was just such an out of character performance. I even struggle to think when we played this bad, and that's probably goes to show just the situation that we're in and the appointment that needs to be made. We've got to make the right decision, the right call to keep this train on the tracks, because right now we're still in the top 6 despite what is the worst performance in a long time for Blackburn Rovers, and getting that appointment right. And you could, and I know looked like ominous decisions were being made to appoint the wrong guy. Ika Karanka was being heavily linked, heavily touted, and that's a decision that it might be okay for the players, but it would have derailed the fan base. So They need to make this call right. The right for the fans, right for the squad, right for the situation, right for the future. It's so much shit riding on this. So we'll see just what happens with that. But let's forget about this one. Absolute stonker. Swansea were the better side by a distance. And if you were to look at these, just like if you were just to arrive off a plane from the moon and looked at this game, you would think Swansea City were the team that were in the playoffs and Blackburn Rovers were the team on a shit bit of form and destined for relegation. So that's just how bad a situation in the game it was today. But we go again, a week's time, Norwich next, who did put a nice performance themselves to get themselves back in the playoff discussion. But next week, massive, if we can get back with the winning ways and hopefully with a new coach, then who knows, the season might be back on track. But right now, concerns, questions, a lot of answers need to be made. But until then, I'm out.